following political paid advertisements do not reflect the political opinions of the program or its associates. Any political campaign or candidate who wishes to purchase advertising can do so. Advertising is open to all on behalf of Gloves Off.
We're back at you in Gloves Off. I'm Professor Buitrón, and today I'm here with a young star athlete of Laredo, Texas, the Prodigy Rok-C. How are we doing today?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great.
Awesome.
You're a pro wrestler, right?
Yes, I'm a professional wrestler.
And tell me, Prodigy, how did you get involved with it?
So I've actually been a fan of wrestling since I was like 10 years old. I got into it because of The Rock. So I was a fan of The Rock, not because of his wrestling, but because of his movies. So I was like obsessed with him. And there was this one day where my dad was flipping through the channels and The Rock happened to be on Monday Night Raw. And at the time, I obviously did not watch Monday Night Raw, but since it was The Rock, I was like, wait, leave it, I want to watch this. So I sat through The Rock's whole little segment, and then I just sat through the rest of Monday Night Raw, and I was just hooked. I was like, oh my god, like this is amazing. And then a few months later, my dad ended up taking me to my first WWE live event, which was SmackDown here in Laredo.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually the day I saw AJ Lee wrestle, which was my favorite women's wrestler growing up.
Sure.
So when I saw her wrestle, I was like, oh my god, I want to do this. Like, I'm going to be a wrestler. And I would constantly tell my parents and everyone, I was like, I'm going to be a wrestler when I'm older. And they were like, my parents have always been super supportive. But of course, there is a lot of people that were like, okay, whatever, like, you'll grow out of it. But I did it. And I started training at 13 years old.
That's cool. And you were training here in Laredo, right?
Yes, I started training here in Laredo.
Because there is a group of wrestlers here in Laredo that have done great. They've been moving it forward and for a long time. And, you know,
Laredo Wrestling Alliance.
You should, yes.
Yes.
Great group of guys.
Super.
You know, and I've seen them several times at one of the Comic-Con events, and they're always doing that. They're always pushing forward, and it's great that we have people, and now you've come of age. Now, you've won a championship.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. Tell us what happened, what you feel.
So that was actually the RWR Vixens Championship. It was actually a few months back. I was 17. The cool thing is that I was 17 years old when I won this championship.
Wow.
So it's crazy to me because for a while I was like, okay, that one of my goals, I obviously have so many goals in wrestling, and one of them was to win my first championship at 17, because I made my debut when I was 14 years old. So I kind of branched out, 16 turning 17, I started, going out of Laredo, and so that was one of my goals. I was like, before I turn 18, I want to win a championship. And I did, so that was really cool.
Where was this championship at?
It was in, I believe, San Antonio. Yes, it was in San Antonio. It was me versus Christy James versus Alex Gracia versus Gino Medina. So it was an intergender match. That was really cool because Gino Medina, he's actually a trainer at Booker T's Reality Wrestling in Houston, and I started taking greyhounds when I was like 16 to Houston so that I could train at Reality Wrestling, because Reality Wrestling was actually a dream of mine when I was little. I was like searching wrestling schools when I was like 10, and I found Booker T's Reality Wrestling. Booker T was one of my favorite wrestlers. So right away I told my parents, I was like, look at this, like when I turn 18, I'm leaving Laredo and I'm gonna start training here. So I got trained earlier than expected, and I did start taking greyhounds at 16 to train there. And like I said, Gino is one of the trainers there, so he has helped me so much in like just perfecting my craft and such.
Sure.
And so it was really cool to, win my first championship in a match with him as well. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
And what would your parents say? Oh, she's going to be traveling. Well, they knew that this was what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, so it was hard, and it's still kind of hard because usually 16, 17-year-olds don't don't go into the business that young. So, I'm surrounded by all these older people, and it's different when you start wrestling once it's normal for you to not be home all the time. Once you leave your house, you're doing your own thing. But I started doing this when I was still in high school. So it was kind of a weird thing for my parents or for my family in general, to not be seeing me so much, because it was like, oh, I have training, or oh, I'm out of town every single weekend, I'm going on greyhounds, that's a scary thing. So for my like I said, my parents are the most supportive people in the world, so for them to let me do all this, and obviously it was hard. It caused a lot of like arguments here and there, because like I'm not always with the family, but wrestling is so much of like sacrifices. So wrestling's hard because
Sure.
you are your own business, basically. Sure. Each person is their own. We're our own Walmart, Target, whatever. So at the end of the day, we have to do everything we can if we really want to make it in the business. So I do have to be traveling every weekend so that I can get more eyes on me. I have to be training all the time. I have to, because hard work eventually does pay off. So yeah, wrestling's tough, but you really have to love it to.
Absolutely. Well, that goes with any sport, any combative sport, and I'm going to say why, because when young boxers start, there's an age gap for you to be in the ring. Even though in wrestling you have now say up to about 30, so you do have to start young. Mm-hmm. You in boxing or savate, you are going to travel out of Laredo, out of town, to compete against that. You have to go that. Sometimes you have to go other places to do specialized training. That's dedication. That's discipline. That's what separates the people that make it to those that do not make it. I'm not trying to say that if people that stay at their own home will not become world champions, because we've had great world champions here. But what I'm trying to say is, the more that you spend out searching and looking and researching and also going out to different places, that's the more knowledge that you're going to get, the better you're going to get. And you're absolutely correct. You are your own business. And people do not understand that about pugilism in general, the ring art, the craft, because you all are part of that, You will have to travel. You are your own business. How you portray yourself in society, that's how it's going to be, And you have to train. Sometimes you might say, you know what, they're teaching this over there, I can't get it here. You're going to go search for it. You're going to go learn for it.
For sure.
And you've demonstrated that. And that is what is so special, and that's what hits the passion. Because if you do not have that, I'm sorry, you're not going to go after it. I can tell you this, We have, like, just like the school here, it's here in Hillside. You got people that drive from Alice here. You got people that drive San Antonio here on a weekly basis to train. Then you got guys that live down the street and they have more excuses than one can imagine. From goldfishes dying to birds chirping in the windows, and that's what separates people that want to learn.
For sure.
And I'm very proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
And Laredo stands behind you. And I know your aunt since we were in grade school, but and it's great to see that. What would you tell others that are going in your shoes or trying to follow your footsteps and say, you know what, I want to do wrestling too? What would you tell them?
Honestly, because a lot of people have asked me, what is your biggest goal in wrestling? And I feel like, of course, one day I want to get signed and be able to make a living off of wrestling. But what's really, really important to me is the fact that I want to inspire little girls and little boys, or even older people. Age is just a number when it comes to hard work. If you dedicate yourself and you put in the work, things will happen. And I'm living proof. Laredo is you don't see many people going after their dreams, because it is scary. It's really scary to put so much work into something when you don't even know if things will work out or not. But I feel like people should just take that risk, because when I was smaller, I did have people telling me, okay, you're not gonna make it, or okay, sure, you want to become a wrestler, okay. But it was no, I always just had this feeling that I was no, I'm serious. I'm going to be a wrestler one day.
Absolutely. And you touch on a lot of good points. You have to go get it. People that strive and become good, they go get it. And that's what separates people. Okay? There's a lot of people that will bring negative down to you, from family members to friends. For you to become good in the sport of the ring, to me, it crosses boundaries, whether wrestling, savate, Thai boxing, MMA. For you to be good, you're going to lose a lot of friends. Why? Because the other guys are going to tell you, that's no good, that's no good. You're going to continue being dedicated on that one road. You're going to continue doing that road. That you're going to end up having very few people around you.
Yeah.
But when you make it, all of a sudden you're going to have a lot of people around you that they were right behind you, patting your back, and they were never there. So you have to understand that's going to happen.
It's funny because when I started training, I was 13, so I was I was in middle school.
Sure.
And being in middle school and going in elementary, I was bullied a lot because I was a tomboy and I liked wrestling. So going into middle school and going into high school, I started training, and it was scary because I just thought, people are making fun of me just for liking wrestling. I'm gonna get made fun of even more now that I'm trying to become a wrestler. So it was scary at first. I didn't tell a lot of my friends that I was even training. I told maybe one or two of them, my best friends. Those were the only people that knew. I don't like saying this, but I didn't post about it. I didn't, nothing. It was my own secret, because I was scared. And you have that pressure of fitting into the cool crowd, when you're in middle school and high school. So that was scary. And once people did start finding out, of course, I had people talking bad about me, what is she doing? She looks so stupid, stuff like that. And I actually they just did a story on me for KGNS because I did make an appearance on Monday Night Raw. And a lot of people started, the people that were doubting me were messaging me and saying, keep up the good work and stuff like that. And of course, I'm not petty or anything, so of course I'm gonna say my thank yous and so forth. But it's funny because all these people that were trying to bring me down are now congratulating me for doing this. And I was even looking at some of the shares on Facebook, and I read one person, they put, wow, that's crazy, I never thought she would actually make it. And I was like, I just wouldn't know whether to say thank you to that or not, like, but...
The thumbs up, you know,
right?
keep going forward.
Yeah, but it's crazy because that's just the way it is, like...
That's the way it is. So you have a championship coming up here, yeah?
I do.
And where's that going to be at?
That is going to be at Booker T's Reality Wrestling in Houston, Texas.
This weekend?
Yes, February 8th, Saturday.
And how's it going to be? What's it look? Tell.
So, I am wrestling current Diamonds Division champion, Hainan. She's amazing. You know, she wrestles for a lot of big promotions like Shimmer, which is like the biggest women's women's promotion in the world. She's had a match on Monday Night Raw before. She's done incredible things, and she's actually also one of like my best friends in wrestling. So it's really cool that I get to have this opportunity against her. We actually we had our first ever match a year ago, February, for the Diamonds Championship, and of course I came up short. That was my first match at Reality Wrestling, so that was pretty cool because I walked in there and they were like, you have a match for the Diamonds Championship, and I was like, what? So yeah, I came up short, but you know, I've had a year of growing and learning from Hainan too, so I'm ready. I am ready to become the youngest champion in Raw history.
Well, congratulations for that, number one, and the best of luck. And I know training's hard, and you'll be leaving tomorrow probably for Houston, no?
I'll be leaving Saturday morning, early
So
Saturday morning.
it's Saturday night.
Yes, so it's 7, I believe, 7 p.m.
If people that are in the Houston area want to go ahead and go, how can they get some tickets, or how can they go?
So I believe that we actually sold out on tickets, so they opened up a little bit of more tickets right now. So they're selling out really fast. So if you are in the Houston area or even in the Laredo area and you're willing to drive up, if you go to Reality of Wrestling, there is a little link there where it has, you get the tickets online. So they have like the seats, you know, kind of like the way that WWE has their little sites and you can see all the seats. You choose them. I believe they're like $15 to $20.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yes, I'm really excited. This match means so much more to me than people really know, because you know, some people think that you're not living your dream until you make it to WWE. And I feel like every single time I step into a ring, whether it's in front of 20 people or 600 people, it's like I'm living my dream every time I step foot in a ring.
Sure.
And especially, you know, Reality of Wrestling, where it's like when I was little, I said that I would start my journey of becoming a professional wrestler by training at Reality Wrestling, and now I might be becoming the youngest Raw champion in history at 18 years old. So it's mind-blowing to me. You know, it just shows that, you know, hard work really does pay off.
And it does, and we wish you the best of luck. And what I see here is a positive, energetic Laredoan that's going to go get it all.
Yes.
And we want you to win and come back and tell us about it, actually. You know?
Yes, for sure.
And anything you want to tell the folks out there?
Don't underestimate me. Because, like I said, doesn't matter how old you are, young, old, whatever, if you put all your dedication into whatever you love, whether it be wrestling, whether it be becoming an actress, or becoming a singer, whatever your dream is, don't push it aside. Don't, because it can happen if you really put all your hard work into it.
And it is shown. And I want you to continue going forward. Thank you for what you're doing, and put Laredo back on the map.
I will.
All right? Folks, until next time, we're here with Prodigy. Let's keep going, and thumbs up. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for doing what you do.
Prospects in women's professional wrestling. Absolutely, gotta love Rox-c.
The following political paid advertisements do not reflect the political opinions of the program or its associates. Any political campaign or candidate who wishes to purchase advertising can do so. Advertising is open to all on behalf of Gloves Off.